As a struggling porn addict, your perception of anger is a little skewed. So you may feel that in order to have things go your way, you need to be aggressive. Or you might feel that other people around you are too sensitive to anger. Some men even think that their anger should be released because it is unhealthy to repress it. Well, the reality is that anger is a destructive force, okay? It ruins relationships, it damages your health, it sabotages your success, it creates a negative reputation for you, and it also impairs your judgment. So today I'm going to be debunking 7 common myths about anger. The first myth is that it is unhealthy to hold in my anger and I should vent my anger and let it all out. Suppressing anger is unhealthy, but venting is not any better. Anger does not have to be released aggressively to avoid losing control. The problem with venting is that it is simply adding fuel to the fire. It only keeps your angry thoughts and feelings alive. The better you are at venting, the longer you end up staying angry. The second myth is that anger is unhealthy, that we should never be angry. I've had a few clients back in the day who were happy all the time. They seemed happy. Guess what? They're also clinically insane, like the Joker, like all off the hinges crazy. Anger can actually be channeled into motivating you to get out of a tough situation, create boundaries to protect your self-esteem, and to cope with stress. And many famous, influential historical figures from Jesus to Muhammad to Martin Luther King Jr. used anger to change the world for the better. Third myth is if I communicate without defending myself, I must be suppressing my anger. Just like a pressure cooker, when anger builds up enough inside you, it explodes out. No matter how hard you struggle to keep it down, it is going to come out, one way or the other. The fourth myth is that anger is aggressive. And this is more of a misconception than a myth. There are many ways to express anger in a non-aggressive manner. Being assertive, challenging thinking errors, and using self-talk are just a few of the ways that you can avoid aggressiveness when you are angry. And by the way, all 3 of these skills can be learned, so you can actually deploy them as soon as you experience anger. One myth that I hear is that my anger is genetic. My father and mother were angry, so I have to be. Anger is a learned behavior. It is not genetic. We learn anger from observing our parents, our friends, from influential people in our lives, and from those in our environment. You can unlearn all the things that you've learned, and you can pick up new coping skills in the process. Another myth is that the idea of hurting my partner due to my anger or engaging in domestic violence is never going to affect me. Like, I'll never be that sort of man. I'll never let it get to that point. Now, domestic violence is not uncommon among porn addicts, particularly observed in the parents of porn addicts. However, some men are under the misconception that domestic violence only happens to those in maybe lower socioeconomic classes, the uneducated, and immigrant or minority communities. And this is a myth. Domestic violence is fueled by anger and it does not discriminate. It is just as common among my private upper middle class to wealthy, highly educated clients as it is among college students in our free groups. So domestic violence, which is being beaten, slapped, hit, or battered, it affects over 4 million women between the ages of 15 and 44 years old in the United States. Another myth is that my anger has only got out of control once. It was just that one time or just those few occasions. And the biggest myth is that your worst outburst of anger was simply a one-time event, a singular episode, like she shoved me and I just reacted. And I just want you to know that uncontrolled violence is a character trait and it is often based on control. Pornography teaches men to be in control of sexual experiences, the women they have sex with, the behavior of the women they desire to have sex with, and much more. And when this control is revealed to be an illusion in real life, men snap. Although an attack may have happened or come close to happening only once, when we dive deeper, we find that this behavior has been built on a foundation of verbal abuse, psychological abuse, threats, or intimidation and isolation via manipulation. So if you're picturing this as an angry man beating his wife, then you've bought into that myth. It seldom is the stereotypical image. Most of my clients whose anger explodes are often very shocked. They're surprised. They're even saddened by their behavior. And they're devastated to discover that they were capable of hurting another human being physically. So those are the top 7 myths about anger. And I'm just curious, do you relate to any of them? Go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. I'm JK, your brother in this struggle. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Porn Reboot podcast. I'll speak to you later on in the week. If you found this episode helpful, here are 4 ways I can help you with your out-of-control sexual behavior for free. The first way is to grab a free copy of my book, Confessions of a Porn Addict, 7 Secrets of Porn-Free Men at elevatedrecovery.org, or visit the link in the description below this episode. The second way is, if you're not sure where to start, but you'd like to learn more about my team and I, if you'd like to spend time with like-minded professionals and business owners who are controlling their behavior, then join our free and confidential group, the Porn Reboot group on Facebook. There's a link to join in the description below this episode. The third way is if you need help right now because you have a burning issue, your behavior with pornography is hurting you mentally or emotionally, you're about to lose your relationship, you want to live up to your potential, be an authentic man, and free yourself from shame, guilt, and underachieving, then click on the link in the description below this episode that says free coaching call. And the fourth way is to leave us a 5-star review if you enjoy this podcast, so that we can reach more men who are struggling in silence and bring back the lessons we learn from coaching them to freedom.